Hey mama, if you're listening to this, you might be carrying a secret that feels too heavy to speak out loud. You look like you got it all together, you serve at church, maybe you even lead a Bible study. You smile when you drop off the kids, but no one sees the other side of you, the one that comes out behind closed doors. At home, you are a completely different person. You yell, you explode, you scream at your kids, sometimes in their face. You tell them to shut up. You grab them too harshly. You throw things across the room. You smack them in anger, twist their ears, spank them in rage, and immediately after, you are hit with a tidal wave of shame. You cry alone in your room and you whisper, "God, what is wrong with me?" You feel scared and disgusted by your own reactions. You're terrified that someone might find out. You wonder if your kids would be better off without you. You feel unworthy, broken, and too far gone to be redeemed. You try to fix this on your own. You listen to podcasts, parenting books, download freebies, but nothing changes. You keep falling back into the same patterns, and it feels like you are stuck in a cycle that you can't break. You don't trust yourself anymore, and if you're honest, you are afraid of who you've become. But here's the truth, Mama. You are not beyond hope. You're not alone, and with God's help and the right support, you can change. I'm Elizabeth, a mom of 4 and an anger management coach for Christian moms. And inside my Calm Christian Mom coaching program, I guide women just like you through a powerful transformation. This isn't shallow behavior management. We go deep. We address your triggers, your stress, your mindset, your nervous system, and the spiritual root behind your patterns. We invite God into every layer and walk hand in hand towards healing. In just 12 weeks, you can become a completely different mom, unrecognizable. One who leads with patience, not panic. One whose children feel emotionally safe around her. One who cultivates peace. This summer, I'm offering a Calm Mama strategy session, a powerful 15-minute one-on-one coaching session designed to help you uncover the root of your anger and receive spiritual, emotional, and practical support. It's your chance to experience what coaching is like with me before diving deeper into ongoing support. If we both feel like the full program is the next right step, we can talk about what that looks like for you. You don't have to keep living like this. Your family is worth healing, and so are you. Use the link in the show notes to book the Calm Mama strategy session. Hi friend, hello. Have you experienced this where you maybe been on social media or you bought parenting courses and you read new ways how to respond to your kids when they are having specific behaviors, or when they trigger you, or when you're running late, or when they're having a meltdown, and then in the heat of the moment you feel triggered, and then all the knowledge that you know just goes out the window and you react in your old ways like you have for years. And then you beat yourself up afterwards. I know how to do better. Why don't I just do things differently? And then it creates this cycle of you knowing what to do. Maybe you read the books, maybe you listened to the podcasts, you've bought courses, and then in the heat of the moment, you just cannot implement the new strategy. And that was my story. That was my problem that I encountered when I started to go to parenting counseling. I felt like I was learning all this knowledge. It was awesome and great. And then when I would get triggered with my children, I would just react in old ways that I knew were not serving me. I knew were not helpful. And I just couldn't stop myself. And I kept asking, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why can't I just implement the new ways of responding? And there were a couple things that lead up to it. I will teach you one strategy that's going to be extremely helpful. But I also want to add to that if you're running on empty and if you have nothing else to give, nothing that I'm going to teach you today the strategy that I have for you is going to help you. Why? Because you just literally don't have the emotional space and emotional energy to deal with your children and their reactions and their meltdowns and their triggers and the things that are upsetting you, right? You need emotional energy to be able to deal with that, which makes me really excited. I want to share something with you. I will be turning 35 in April. Yes, crazy. I can't believe I'm 35, mid-30s. Oh my gosh. And as a birthday gift for me, I'm asking you to do one thing. And that is to leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. If you don't have a phone, you know somebody that has an Apple phone. You just do. We all know, right? And if you send me and email me the screenshot of the review, the cool thing is I will give you a coupon code to get a mini course for free. I created this mini course. It's in the show notes. You can scroll down. It says how to 10 times your emotional capacity levels as a mom, which goes really along with what I'm talking about today. How to increase your emotional capacity levels. And you'll be able to get access to that mini course completely for free if you leave me a review. And you also get to gift me a review, hopefully a positive one, for my 35th birthday as a gift to me. And I will return you a favor and give you a coupon code to that mini course. So that is something that I wanted to add in the beginning. So first, you need to increase your capacity levels so you have more energy to even deal with triggers and emotional outbursts maybe of your children. But here is the new thing that I want to teach you today. And I'm going to get into my lesson. And first, we need to understand where the negative patterns are coming from of you reacting in a specific way with your children. If you're raising your voice, if you're being rough, you grab onto them, you twist their ear, maybe you spank them, maybe you just yank them because you're feeling really upset and angry. Maybe you are being abusive with your words and your actions. Maybe you're calling them names when you feel upset and you're belittling them. You first need to understand where these patterns are coming from. One of my clients that I'm working with right now, a lot of her negative reactions are coming from her family of origin, the way that her parents talked to her when she was a kid. All the unpleasant and hurtful comments and name calling that they did when she was a kid. And they just automatically come out of her towards her children. And it's an automatic pattern that needs to be broken, right? And so first, for her personally, it's coming from her family of origin. That is what is contributing to her automatic negative reactions. Another thing could be is that you're just unable to catch yourself early enough and regulate your emotions because you were never taught to how to recognize when you're starting to feel upset. You just get escalated really quickly and you don't see the signs that are leading up to you getting escalated. By the way, if you tune in into the following episode that I will be releasing after this one, so come and show up later in the week, I'll be talking about how to recognize when your anger is coming up, that it's growing, and how to catch yourself before it turns into rage and into something that's actually hurtful. Or the last thing is that you just don't know how to do different things differently. Maybe you've never read the books about connective parenting or positive parenting. You just found this podcast and you notice that you're reacting in anger often and you just don't know a different way to handle triggering and tough situations. And that's why you have those automatic negative reactions. Okay. Also, I've taught you a lot about the brain, and I will link some of the earlier episodes because I don't want to go into it and take the time in this episode, but when you are in your emotional part of the brain or survival part of the brain, you will be going back to your automatic negative reactions, and you need to rewire your brain and create new patterns of responding differently. And this is the tool that I'm going to be teaching you today, how to create these new patterns. But if your emotional tank is really low and you're just running on empty, you will not have the energy for this. And that's why that training, how to 10 times your emotional capacity levels as a mom, that mini course is going to be so valuable for you, because you will learn 11 things that you can do starting today, implementing in your day-to-day life to increase your emotional capacity levels as a mom and just have more energy to deal with triggering and challenging emotional situations. Okay, so now that you know where your negative patterns are coming from, you need to understand what is the impact of your negative reactions on your relationship with your kids and the loved ones in your life. You need to understand why are these negative reactions are not serving you. Okay, because the problem with anger is anger on its own is not a sin. The Bible says be angry and do not sin. But there's many verses that talk about how people make foolish choices when they are feeling angry, and how to stay away from angry people because they cause destruction, right, with their words and their actions. So it's not wrong to feel anger. You can't really control the emotion that comes up and the thoughts that come up, but you can control what you do after that. Do you act on that in that anger, or do you redirect your thoughts, or do you redirect your actions and release that anger in a healthy way? And I teach you all those things in my coaching container if you choose to take the next step and to work with me. But you need to understand what is the cost of this damage and destruction to your relationship when you react in hurtful ways when you're feeling angry. Is it that your kids are avoid being around you because they just don't like being around you because you're angry all the time? You're screaming, you're yelling, you're belittling them, you're rough with them, and you feel like you are just about to blow up every second of the day, maybe from the moment you wake up. Maybe your kids just don't even want to be around you. Nobody wants to be around a person like that. Maybe you don't even want to be around yourself. Does your spouse dread coming home from work because he knows that you're going to be in a bad mood and he just doesn't even want to be around you? And he's trying to find excuses to stay at work longer because he knows as soon as he comes through the door, he's just going to be screaming and yelling and just negativity. Friend, I promise you there's a way to change that. I promise you there's a better way. Do your kids lie to you because they are afraid of your negative reactions, of your anger, of your explosions? And so they lie to you because they feel unsafe telling you the truth. Have you lost friendships because you said hurtful things in anger to a friend when you felt triggered? Do you have strained relationships with maybe your siblings, your parents, because of unhealthy emotional patterns and damaging words that you said when you felt upset? My friends, your emotional well-being does not bleed only into your motherhood. Yes, it affects you and it affects your kids because they're the closest thing to you. It affects your marriage. It affects your friendships, your work environment, your relationship with your parents. It literally bleeds into all these areas of your life. Because if you're emotionally struggling, you're going to be mentally struggling. You're going to be physically struggling. And spiritually struggling. It's everything together. You gotta learn how to manage your emotions in a healthy way, because you're just gonna pass these unhealthy patterns to your children, because that's all they're gonna know. They're not gonna know a different way because you never modeled a different way to them. And the cool thing is, you get to change. You choose to make changes. One of my clients that I'm working with right now, she's in her 50s and she decided to make changes. And I'm so excited for her because she's only 4 weeks in and she's seeing such massive the transformation in her relationship with her son that's still at home. And the other thing she said, she's like, I'm noticing positive changes in my marriage as well. It's impossible for you to just work on your motherhood and not see positive changes in your marriage as well. Another client of mine in the fall, her marriage improved because her communication was able to improve when she is feeling emotionally charged. Because otherwise she would just react and explode and get loud and aggressive with her words and actions. And then she was able to change that. And I will add her testimony in the show notes. Her name is Brittany. She's been on my podcast. We recorded an episode. She shared her story about how my program has changed her life. And I'm so excited for that. And I want you to listen to that episode. So now I'm going to share with you the actual tool that you need to do and implement in order to see changes to rewire your brain. So I knew these tools from before, several years ago, when I was taking parenting memberships and parenting classes and reading books, but I learned this specific one through Tessa Romero. I mentioned her in my podcast before. She has such a great show called a Mom Set podcast, and then she has a 12-week coaching program, and she has a mommy mindset course that is so good. I link it here in the show notes. I love it, love it, love it. But one of the things that I learned from her, specifically when it came to deciding what kind of mom you want to be, and just even in general, what kind of person do you want to be? And when I was going through her program, Mind Body Alignment, I really liked that and I started implementing that in my coaching program as well, because it resonated really well with me. So we often say, I don't want to yell. I don't want to be mean mom. I don't want to be impatient. We just say what kind of mom we don't want to be. But we oftentimes don't focus on what kind of mom we do want to be. And what kind of person in general do you want to be? Do you want to be godly, God-fearing, patient, kind, loving, lighthearted, playful, gentle, good listener, slow to anger, slow to speak, generous, warm, compassionate, empathetic, fun, energetic, joyful, respectful, trustworthy, safe? What kind of mom do you want to be? So pick 5 character qualities that really resonate with you. And when you start in my coaching program, there's a whole list of character qualities from you to choose from. And then we kind of expand on your I am statement, like I am kind, I am loving, I am compassionate, lighthearted, playful with my kids. And I've shared my I am statements here with you before. And so my I am statement is I am lighthearted and playful with my kids. I choose to be adaptive to current circumstances. I am intentional with my words and actions, and I am slow to anger and slow to speak. And so that is my I am statement. That is the kind of mom I choose to show up for every day. And so when you choose your I am statement, what kind of mom do you want to be? And you're working to be becoming and committed on becoming. Now you need to come up with a plan how you will respond in triggering situations when your children aren't doing the things that you want them to do. And as the person that you decided that you want to be. Okay? There's a phrase in the book Triggers that I also gift you when you and I start working together in my coaching program. I send you a gift package in the mail, and one of them has a book in there called Triggers, and it's by Amber Leah and Wendy Speak is the authors of the book. And one of the phrases that I really like in the book, and that goes along with what I'm teaching you today, and that is figure out what you mean to say before you say something mean. And so this is the actual assignment. This is the assignment that I'm going to give you. So first, I want you to figure out what kind of mom you want to be for your children. Pick 5 character qualities. What kind of mom do you want to be and are going to commit on becoming for your children? Okay? And then you are going to journal about it and how you show up as that mom in hard and difficult circumstances. Because you are given these circumstances to help you become the person you want to become. If you didn't have these circumstances of your kids not listening, of your kids melting down, why in the world would you need patience? Right? You want to say you want to be a patient mom. Well, you got to have circumstances to become a patient mom. Otherwise, you wouldn't develop the character quality of patience. If you want to say you want to be empathetic and kind, you need the circumstances to be empathetic and kind. Otherwise, how would you experience empathy and kindness and grow that character quality? God allows us to have circumstances in our life that allow us to experience these difficulties so we can grow into the person that we want to be and the person he's calling us to be. So in this journaling practice, you are going to write it. So this is what Tessa teaches in her coaching, Mommy Mindset. And oh my gosh, girl, like I know I've mentioned this course before. It's self-paced. It's 5 weeks long. It's so good. And if you choose to actually come work in my coaching container at the end of 12 weeks, I gift you this course because I honestly think it's that good. But in one of the things that she teaches in that course, that is Mommy Mindset. It is you journal, it's positive, present tense, and personal. And so you are going to journal ahead of time how you want to respond as that loving, kind, playful, gentle mom when your kids are doing XYZ. So when my kids are doing XYZ, this is how I respond to them. So what is it like for you to spend your day with your kids? When my kids wake up in the morning and they come into my bedroom, I give my kids a hug and I say, so nice to see you, buddy. I love that you come and give me hugs in the mornings. However do you want to respond to your kids? What is it like for you to spend the whole day with your kids? The day before my kids stay home from school, I plan a fun play date that we're going to go to. And in the morning, I make pancakes. And one of my kids is melting down. I get down on his level and I look into his eyes and I say, hey, buddy, I see that you're having a hard time. How can I help you right now? You are going to train your brain what you are going to do differently. You tell yourself, oh, I don't want to yell. You have to train your brain what you're gonna do differently. We oftentimes do this with our kids. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But we're not teaching them what to do instead. Don't yell at your brother. Don't hit your brother. Don't throw things. Well, they're feeling upset. What do they need to do instead? You're not teaching them how to communicate better. You gotta train their brain what to do instead. Same thing for you. You gotta train your brain what to do instead. So what is it like when you're at the store and your toddler is melting down? How do you handle yourself? Positive, present, like you're living that in that moment. It's happening right now. You're journaling about it as if it's happening right now. This is what I'm doing when my toddler is having a hard time at the store and they're screaming and yelling. I give them a hug. And whatever it is, like I empathize with them, say, I know, buddy, you really want that thing. And it's so hard not to get that toy. I see you. I'd feel so mad myself if I couldn't get a fun thing or whatever it might be, like however you speak to your kids. Or maybe you want to implement these tools, but you just never have. So this is your chance to retrain your brain how to do things differently. What is it like for your husband when he comes from work and he had a hard day? What do you say to him? What do you do? How do you treat him? I mean, this doesn't only have to be in regards to motherhood. It can be in other areas of your life. What is it like for you when your mom says an unkind comment and a judgmental comment to you about your kids? How do you respond? How do you do things differently? I want you to visualize about it and write about it on paper and live in that moment. I want you to feel the feelings that you would experience in that moment. And so when that moment passes, you are proud of the way that you handled it instead of feeling shameful and guilty in the way that you reacted, right? That you responded in a godly, God-honoring way, in a way that you're truly proud of. So next time when you have that trigger and it happens, that triggering moment where you're starting to feel escalated, when you're overstimulated, whatever it might be, your brain is a lot more likely to remember what to do instead of reacting in old negative ways. Isn't that cool? It's literally so amazing. I promise you, when you actually implement this, it's so game-changing. So game-changing. This is something you need to, though, practice over and over again. It's not a one-time thing, okay? My friend, if this is something that speaks to you and you're like, oh my goodness, this stuff is so good. I am so ready. I am so ready to take action. I am sick and tired of feeling like an angry mom all the time and reacting to my kids. And my marriage is falling apart because of my anger. My relationship with my kids are falling apart because of my anger. I don't have friends because of my reactions, whatever it might be. If you feel like your anger is controlling you instead of you controlling your anger and you're emotionally falling apart at the seams, you're so stressed out, you're so overwhelmed, you're so burned out, and you want to do things differently, and you're ready to take the next step and invest in yourself, my friend, I have a program that is going to change your life. And I don't say that lightly. It's 12 weeks. It's called Calm Christian Mom. In 12 weeks, if you show up and you do the work, and I will support you every step of the way. You have weekly coaching calls. You have Monday through Friday access to me via Voxer, a walkie-talkie app. Like, you and I walk along this journey together, and we invite God into the process. All three of us are working on this together, and you will see your life completely flip around and change. You will start noticing changes, positive changes, within a couple weeks. You will see a significant change in how you're showing up. It's going to affect your marriage in a positive way, your parenting. You're going to feel so much better about yourself as a mom. And I was just talking to my husband, actually, yesterday. I was taking a bath and he came in. It's like Friday night, it's my bath night, and he came into the bathroom and he was giving me compliments, how a good wife I am and a good mom I am. And I was thankful for that. And then I told him something that I want to tell you. I'm turning 35 in April, and I'm in a place in my life where I am proud of the way that I am. Not a prideful way, but I am liking the person that I am. I look at myself in the mirror and I like who I am as a person, who I am spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. Yes, there's room for growth all the time, but I like who I am as a person. And the only reason I like who I am is because of the work that I put in. And that took me years to get there. But I put in consistent work to become the person that I am proud of. That when my kids are having hard moments, the way that I handle those hard moments are in a godly way that I can look back at and I don't feel embarrassed. Sure, I do have moments. I still have my moments, but overall, I handle it in a way that I'm proud of. And that is because of this work. And I don't take it lightly. It took me years to get here, but I know the shortcuts now. I took so many courses. I've bought so many programs. I've done a ton of coaching. I've read books. I've been therapy. I've been to counseling. And all of this is combined into knowledge into this 12-week program. My friend, it's 100% money back guarantee. I promise you it will change your life. It will change your marriage. It will change your parenting. It will change who you are as a person in a positive way. And you're going to be so glad you did it. You will not regret it. I promise you. And I also tell you, if you get to week 12 and you feel like you didn't make any progress and you feel like you did all the things that I asked you to do and there's no positive changes in your life, I will give you a full refund at the end. But I promise you, you're not going to need it because your life is going to change so much. I'm so pumped up. I'm so excited because I know this program is so valuable. It is so transformational. I know that you're so creative and you will come up with the money because you see the value of how important this program is. I know that this is the answer you've been praying for, and I am here waiting for you when you are ready, my friend. And so if you're ready to take the next step, in the show notes, scroll down. There's going to be a little link for you to click on, book a consultation call. I am so excited to connect with you and talk to you. I promise you, your life will change. Your family is going to thank you. Investing in yourself is one of the best investments that you can make. If you're listening to this show over and over and over and over again, and you hear all these positive things that you can do, but you just can't seem to just take action and implement, you just feel like you're drowning and everything is too much, my program is the next best step for you, friend. Okay, I wanted to share with you an Amazon product that I'm loving. Okay, so I've told you that I have a 2.5-year-old, and one of the things that my little girl likes to do, she loves to run outside and run away and let the dog outside, and then we just have to chase her because she learned a couple months back how to open the front door. Before she didn't know, but now she knows how to open the lock, and she just loves to run outside. Well, we got these locks that you put on the front door, or you can do it on the bedroom door too. And I will link, there's a couple different ones in the show notes, but my friend, oh my gosh, so game changing. I mean, also like people from the outside can't come in and she can't get out, and there's no way for her to open that lock. She just can't. And so I think they're so game changing. Why? Because I have one on my bedroom door. And even today I was folding laundry and she wanted to run outside and play with her brothers, but I knew that I couldn't go outside right now. I needed to do the laundry, then we could go outside. And she was having a meltdown and having a hard moment because of that. And she would just run outside. And so I brought her into my bedroom and I locked the lock, and I was in the bedroom with her. I was folding laundry. She allowed her to have her moment on the floor, but she was not able to run out of my bedroom. She needed to stay put. So this lock, it's a metal lock that I think is so great, so awesome. I will link in the show notes. And then there's another plastic one that we would have on the doors, like if we didn't want her to go into the laundry room and then it leads into the garage. And so we'd have another one, but she would probably figure that one out unless we put it really high up. And so both of them are great. I use them with actually the last 2 children. And so I'll just link them in the show notes. If you have toddlers that you need to have safety locks on the doors to prevent them from running outside, like I do, these are the locks for you. And you could even like do one of them as like a child lock, the second one, the plastic one, you can even gift that as a baby shower gift. Or like gift it to a friend too, because they're so awesome. I am thankful somebody created something that is so creative. Okay, friend. I hope this podcast episode was valuable and helpful. And if you found value in this episode, would you do me a favor and text this episode to a friend? If you have a girlfriend that has ever shared with you that she struggles with anger and just feeling reactive as a mom, please share my podcast with her. If it's impacting you in a positive way, it will impact her. I want to serve as many moms as possible. I want to help other moms that need this help, who are ready to make these changes to break these destructive and unhelpful and damaging patterns of reactivity and anger and saying hurtful, belittling things to their children. My friend, do me a favor and share my podcast with someone that you think might benefit. Or maybe you see a Facebook post and a group with other moms who say, hey, it's anonymous. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling with XYZ. I feel like I'm always impatient with my kids and yelling and screaming, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to help myself. Share my podcast, please. I would appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for being here. Honestly, such a gift. I feel so honored. I'm almost at 100,000 downloads. If you want to support me, I'm so excited to reach that goal by my birthday. Sharing my podcast with a friend would be the best way to support me. I know I've been talking for a while. Thank you for being here. And until next episode, friend. Hey mama, do you find yourself snapping over the smallest things, like spilled milk or constant whining, then feeling horrible afterwards? If you're tired of losing your temper and you want to show up with more patience, I have something for you. It's a free training called How to Be More Patient with Your Kids so you're not screaming over spilled milk. Inside, I'll walk you through 10 simple things you can start doing today to become a calmer, more Christ-like mom, even on the hard days. To get it for free, just leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and send a screenshot to hello@emotionallyhealthylegacy.com. Or if you'd rather skip the wait, you can grab it right now for just $27. The link is in the show notes. Let's help you become the peaceful, patient mom your kids need.